Hello, how guys, it's Switch here, one more time with another Marvel Snap video. And in today's video, we're just going to talk a little bit about the Loki deck, which I created, and it's for just the people who just started to play recently, as I am. So basically, the majority of the cards are going to be from the Season 1, or well, actually Series 1, excuse me. So I just call this Loki and Friends S1 because the most of the cards are from the Series 1. Although I almost unlocked the Series 2, so we are going to have a couple of cards from the Series 2 as well. So, with that being said, the Series 2 cards, we're having the Agent 13, we're having the Collector, and we're having, I think so, the Shang-Chi is the Series 2 card as well. So the majority of you supposed to have already unlocked those cards, so that's not going to be any problem. Also, during the video, I always telling what I wish to remove already. So you will see the free highlights with this deck, but I already figure it out to what I really want to remove from this deck. I believe so. The Electra, which you haven't seen, which you're not going to see on the highlights anyway, I believe so. The Electra is not really important card here. Just simply because we want to take an advantage of really powerful cards due to playing the Loki, and then those cards are going to be cheap, and then we can play something like 6 energy drops for, let's say, 5 energy, or even less if you obviously have access to the different cards. But the main idea is not really to be bothered by playing something like Electra. So I just figure it out. You're not going to see this on the highlights, but for me, I believe so. That's going to be the card for the next playing the rank game with the Infinite. Why is that? Just simply because it's just massive drop. So on turn 3, if we have Loki, we're just playing the Loki. On turn 4, we're just trying to just play every possible card we can play. And then on the turn 5, we are not playing anything if we have the Infinite, and then we're just going to play this as a finisher, and basically just going to finish the game. Nevertheless, on the highlights, we don't have the Infinite. We have 2 highlights with the Loki itself, and 1 highlight is with the Loki on the hand, but we actually didn't play the Loki at all because we don't need to. So the idea of this deck is basically to gather the cards during we are playing the cards. So the Agent 13, when we play the Agent 13, we add the random card to our hand, which is great. Mantis is like 50-50 because we don't really know we are going to draw a card from the opponent deck, because to do so, the opponent need to play the card on the same position. But still, this card is amazing. So it's, like I said, 50-50. Sometimes we will have the extra card, sometimes not. Yondu, it's super powerful card. That's why I decided to play this card, because destroy the top card of the opponent deck is always useful. Then we have the Cable, which is basically another tool to get extra card when we playing the card. It's amazing because all of those 3 cards are obviously combined with the Collector, and basically the Collector will have always +1 power when a card enters your hand from anywhere except your deck. So obviously when we're going to draw the card, he's not going to be buffed, but when we're going to play another card, Sentinel, he is going to be buffed. Add another Sentinel to your hand. So the Collector is a super amazing card, especially when we are able to copy that with the Moon Girl and then duplicate and then play 2 Collectors on turn 2. Like, wait, what? Turn 2? You have 4 energy Moon Girl? Yeah, sometimes some strange things happening, like you can play the Moon Girl on the turn 1, first turn, so which happened actually on the highlights, so you will see that. Then you have like double Collectors, like turn 2, turn 3, and just some shenanigans going on. Like it's crazy, but obviously that was due to the fact there's a location which is giving to you +5 energy this turn, or something like that. So we have the Loki, which is great stat, 3 energy, 5 power, and then we are replacing our hand with the cards from your opponent's starting deck. So that's really super important part. It's opponent's starting deck, not hand. So in other words, if we're having 6 cards on our hand and we can swap them, we're actually swapping from the opponent's starting deck, which means even if that deck currently don't have a cards at all, we're still swapping those cards. and it's crazy because that means if we have 6 cards and we can play Loki, and then we're just going to get the 6 cards. Obviously, we're trying to play this usually on turn 4 and still having like 4 cards. So we're actually building the cards due to the agent. So we're getting 1 card. Mantis, hopefully we're getting 1 card, playing the cable. So we're getting 1 card, and then maybe we're just going to play the Loki. So we're trying to obviously have cards on our hand because there is no really point to play Loki in the first place if we don't have any cards to swap, right? And just hoping to get some big cards as well, so we're not going to play them because we don't have the energy, and we're just going to swap them for some nice cards from the opponent deck, which is going to be -1 cost. And we can just dump our all hand on the table, and then on turn 6, ideally, we're just going to draw the America Chavez. And there is one highlight in this video where I actually play Chavez and 3 other cards in the same turn. It's like super crazy. Just dumping everything for 0 and then for 6 energy I'm playing Chavez, so it's like, it's broken. It's sometimes this deck is broken. Shang-Chi, just recently addition. I used to play with the Thor, but I don't like the Thor just simply because the Thor, when you're playing the Thor hammer, Thor's hammers, you just, not one hammers, because sometimes you're just coping with the Murger. You basically just don't have any more space to dump the other cards with the Loki, so keep that in mind. Just Loki is super powerful, and you will get most likely everything so cheap, so you'll be able to play everything on another turn. Sometimes obviously you will get cards as like the aggro cards, and they're not really useful, but still with the Chavez especially, you'll be able to still play a 6 energy drop on the turn 6 and then play all aggro cards for free. Shang-Chi, if you don't really feel like you want to play this card, just don't play it. Well, basically destroy all enemy cards at this location that have 9 or more power. It's super great for the serious one, for the beginner players, as I am the beginner player, when you don't really have the much of the collection and everybody trying to take the advantage of playing basically Devil Dinosaur, because the card is amazing, and especially with the Loki deck as well, is going to be suitable to play just simply because we have lots of cards, and sometimes we are not going to get the Loki because it's going to be on the bottom of our deck, and just simply lots of people might run Devil Dinosaur, and this is like super counter to it. So yeah, but so you can basically remove the Shang-Chi and you can put the Devil Dinosaur, or just put whatever you like, whatever you fancy. Just giving the ideas what you can possibly run here. Another card in this deck, Moon Girl, which I already mentioned several times. The Moon Girl is just amazing, and you have to keep that on eye, like on the opening hand. If you don't have a Loki and you have only like 1 energy drops, or maybe a collector. Like that's the opening hand, collector and Moon Girl. So sometimes you just want to basically skip a couple of turns, or actually 3 to be on the turn 4 and then play the Moon Girl, and then play on the 5th turn the collector, and just hoping to, I don't know, get some extra low energy cards from the agent and maybe cable. Sometimes that's what I do, but usually I'm just playing the collector straight away on the turn 2, and then the other cards. But there's sometimes a scenario where you actually you'll be better off. That's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes you will be better off to wait and play everything later on. Usually that's not the case. The White Queen, another card just simply to get cards, so to copy the highest card in your opponent's hand into your hand, and also. If we don't really have the Moon Girl, so we're probably going to play the White Queen, and then if we don't really have the Loki, because the thing is, if you have the Loki, you rather to play the Loki to remove everything from your hand and just getting some nice cards with the value, and then you are able to dump as many cards as possible, and you don't really care because you know on the turn 6 you will have the value, you will have the Chavez. And in the all highlights, well actually there are 3 games. I'm not playing the Infinite, I'm playing on the highlights I'm playing the Electra, which I removed for purpose of just telling you I reckon this deck is going to be much better off. Honestly, you don't really need to play turn 5 if you have the Loki before on turn 3. You dumping everything on turn 4. You don't care about turn 5 and you can just play the Infinite. But if you don't like the Infinite, you also good to go to remove that and just try to use whatever you like it. I just feel like the Electra is not really good choice for this deck. Although she's going to be on the highlights. And then, yeah, pretty much that's it. So thank you much, guys, for watching. See you guys in the next video. The next videos, I will try to do as many as possible the Series 1 steel decks for myself to learn the game, for the people who are going to start on the PC journey with the Marvel Snap as I did just recently. And basically, I'm almost unlocking the whole Series 2 cards. I need to unlock another 3 cards. So I will be on the 486. And yeah, and then I will start to do the Series 2 decks, which is going to be Series 1 cards and Series 2. The Series 2, and there's not really much cards, but I just, like I said, I just want to do the playlist with the new decks for everybody to not really spend any money at all. Despite the fact, obviously, the Loki, you need to spend money to play the Loki, unless you want to wait till next month and it's going to be rotated out and it's going to be in the Series 5, but still, that's not the case for everybody who just started recently, because we're talking, oh my god, half of the year, months to actually grind to the Loki itself, because just for the end of the video, I just want to mention that every season cards are going to rotate out to the Series 5, and then another month, which means 2 months from now, is going to rotate to Series 4, and 3 months from now is going to rotate to Series 3. If that's the case of the rotating cards from Series 5 every month, because if that's not the case, if just only 1 card rotating every month, so that's going to be, oh my god, ages till you will get the Loki, unless you're spending, I don't know, 1,000 of whatever currency you're spending money, but then are you better off to just buying the season pass, right? So anyway, nevertheless, it's great fun, great deck for everybody who just started playing recently and don't mind to buy the season pass. Definitely try out this deck because I have lots of fun, which you can see on the highlights. So one more time, thank you much, guys, for watching. See you guys in the next video, and take care and bye for now.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.